The Midland County History Museum is always chock full of new exhibits, and our next one is a real blast from the past, as this exhibit goes way past the beginning of just the history of the Tall City.
Well, I think it's important for everyone to understand how really ancient Texas is and how we're also kind of at one of the center points of discoveries of pushing the times back.
A Time Before Texas is an exhibit from the Texas Humanities Council that shows the Paleoindian period.
So the 8 panels tell you about what we know about the Paleoindian era, and then quite a few of them go back through and talk about the changing ideas of how we've really pushed back the time frames. So it begins with an origin stories and talks about how the indigenous peoples have their own stories about how they began. And then it talks about how the latest theories are regarding how the peoples came here. Also that we've moved it from 13,000 years ago to 16,000 years ago and multiple paths. And then it talks about some of the new discoveries. Perhaps one of the most exciting is a site in Central Texas called the Tall Cit, which has pushed it back from where we thought they had come to 3,000 years even earlier.
And if you thought everything is bigger in Texas now, you have no idea what it was like back then.
What I always find fascinating are the kind of animals that were here. One term they often use is megafauna, which means just big animals. And so imagine a buffalo 1.5 times the size of the ones we have now. Imagine bears that stood up to 20 feet tall. Imagine saber-toothed tigers, and imagine very small horses. So really a lot of amazing things going on in this time period.
And Midland has their own claim to the prehistoric fame.
So we have Paleo Midland, which is our own particular take on that story. And the central feature of Paleo Midland, of course, is that we have replicas of the skull that was found here in the 1950s. Here at the time was the oldest skull in North America. It only went back about 6,000 to 8,000 years, but at that time they thought it would be much older. So our little exhibit tells about the story of how they found that, where they found it, and then we actually have now a printout of the skull as they found it in many, many pieces and put it back together so you can get a better idea of how small this woman in her, say, 20s was.
Showing yet another way why Midland stands out in history. My mistake, prehistory. In Midland, I'm Marcus Risen, News West 9.